I want to share a case study with you about how one of my clients went from 0 to almost 7 figures in his first year in this new business. Now, I want you to know these are not typical results. And in fact, my client Nick had some past business experience. He was already out there working hard to get this business off the ground. He had been doing that for 6 months, but it was going nowhere. But I want to dive into exactly what we did with him so that you can use this as a blueprint if you're starting your business or even if you're scaling your business and you want to get to that 7-figure mark. So again, I'm not making income claims. These are not typical results, but I do want to show you what can be done when you use the model that I teach. And that is to sell high value first. And that is to go after a premium market. All right. So my client, Nick, was a referral from a past client, someone I had worked with before. And he said, if anybody can help you get results, Nick, it's going to be Ann. Well, that's a great testimonial right there, right? But when Nick came to me, again, he had been trying for 6 months to launch this new offer. And he knew that his target audience was chiropractors, but it was going nowhere. He was not getting any interest. He couldn't even get them to talk to him. Nothing was working. And so when he came to me, he said, Ann, I have 90 days to get this up and going, or I have to go back and get a job. Now, Nick had some past business experience. And again, he had been working for 6 months to try to get this up and going. And so he had some things in place. But when I looked at what he was doing, when I looked at his offer, when I looked at his marketing, when I looked at even his sales process, I knew why Nick was having the problems that he was. So the very first thing we had to do was go from his $4,000 original offer to moving him into a $25,000 offer. And that may sound crazy to some of you, but we had to beef up the value. He was not going to hit the big goals he had with a $4,000 offer. So we moved that into a $25,000 offer. We increased the perceived value of that offer. We changed it up so that number one, his time was leveraged and it wasn't going to take him a lot of time to be able to deliver. But we added in some other things that were going to be a very minimal cost, but it really increased the value of this offer. So a good example of this is we added in some marketing pieces in a marketing package that wasn't going to really cost Nick probably much more than $500, but to the chiropractor, it was going to add massive value. It was literally going to be thousands of dollars worth of marketing because now they didn't have to try to go out and figure out how they were going to market this new thing to their patients. So we first beefed up the offer. We moved that to a $25,000 offer. And once we did that, we now had to work on the marketing piece. So we changed the language that he was using. He was trying to sell his thing. Well, we couldn't sell the thing, which was a machine, by the way. We had to sell the result that he was going to be able to give chiropractors when they bought into this. And so we started marketing the result. And we had to overcome the objections. We had to know the things that would keep chiropractors from wanting to purchase this offer that Nick had. And a couple of the common objections that they would have, number one, would be that they don't have any more time. So trying to do something else that would require them would be difficult. And so one of the things that Nick added into his package was a consulting piece where he could train the staff. So the staff could now run and operate this machine and even sell the packages because now they were given the marketing materials to be able to do that. So those were the things that we worked on. We also knew that we had to show what the benefits were going to be, not just to the patients, because obviously chiropractors care about their patients getting results, but we also had to show the benefit to the doctor, right? What's the benefit of me investing $25,000 into this thing? Well, when we showed the benefit of the amount of revenue they could add to their business that wasn't going to take them any time at all or anything that they themselves had to do, it was just going to be another revenue stream for them. Well, that did the trick. So we changed up all of the marketing for Nick's product, and we also put a marketing plan in place. And we determined that the best way to reach these chiropractors, in this case, it was a trade show. Now, Nick didn't have anything going online, and that was the next step. It was to get online marketing going as well. But Nick started with trade shows because it was simple for him, and he had done them in the past. So he went to a trade show, and all the marketing and everything was on point. The other thing we had to fix in the business was his sales process. He had to make it really easy and simple for these chiropractors to say yes. And we wanted Nick to not be the bank. And what I mean by that is we worked with a third party funding company so they could actually fund the investment these chiropractors would make. And then for minimal payments, the chiropractors could pay back the funding company. And Nick was taken out of the financial piece. But the other great thing about this is Nick was paid in full from the funding company when the chiropractors bought in. So he was paid the $25,000. That's what was hitting his bank account every time a sale was made. But then Nick was taken out of the financial piece, and the funding company from there handled the payments. The other great thing about using a third party funding company, which is something that I teach my clients to do and stop being a bank for their clients, is the benefit of that is the funding companies can offer better payment plans. You as an entrepreneur don't have the resources to be taking little bitty payments that aren't going to amount to you making any kind of money. You can't grow your business that way. So if you can get paid in full and then they get to make smaller payments to the funding company I work with, for example, lets people make payments for 20 months with no interest. Well, that's very compelling, right? But I wouldn't offer them that kind of funding. And so they can offer much better plans than you can, or than you should, I should say, as an entrepreneur. So we fixed the sales process, but we also made it easy for them to say yes, and we wanted them to buy now. So one of the things that we did is we offered a really nice savings at the trade show. So they could say yes, they could sign the papers, they could get funded. All of that happened right there in about 25 or 30 minutes, and they were done. And so then from there, Nick just went and consulted, trained the team, trained the staff how to run this, brought in the marketing materials, and they were off to the races. And Nick was out of it then. He was still a contact if they needed to ask questions or anything like that, but he did not have to continue other than just checking in on them to see how things were going. So by doing this, now Nick had the funds to actually get a team in place. And what he did is he actually brought in some commissioned salespeople, and he bought into trade shows in other places in the country. And these teams went out and they duplicated the process, rinse and repeat. And Nick was able to go from zero to almost $1 million that first year. So this is how we did it. And you could do this online with some sort of events. You could do it with workshops. There's a lot of ways you could do this type of marketing and get that one-to-many approach. But trade shows was just what Nick happened to do. Now I help people do this mostly online, and it changes everything because now they can target the whole world. It's a lot less expensive. They don't need as many people. But all the fundamental pieces that I help Nick do, I still do with my clients today. We first look at their offers. Are their offers too low? Do we need to beef those up? If you don't have a $25,000, a $50,000, a $100,000 offer, you can't sell it. So if you're trying to sell things for a few $1,000s when that could be $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000, well, you're missing huge opportunity. You've got to raise the perceived value of those offers. So think about this. You only need $40,000, $25,000 clients to have $1 million business. You only need $20,000, $50,000 clients to have $1 million business. Much easier to fathom getting 20 clients or 40 clients than it is to get hundreds of clients that you would need with, say, a $4,000 or $5,000 offer, right? So that's the first thing. But then the second thing is you have to make sure that the marketing is on point. You have to know the objections and the challenges and the things that would make people not buy. And you have to influence them to want to buy by showing them the benefits that they're going to get, the results that they're going to get. So you're selling that vision to them, and you're really at the same time overcoming their challenges and the problems that they are facing. When you do this in the right way, you're going to influence people and actually get them excited to buy. I mean, these are the things that I do with my clients. The other thing, though, is change your sales process. If you don't have a sales process that will get you out of being cash poor or you being the financial institution for your clients, if you don't move away from that type of a model, which is what's been taught out there for many, many years, you're really limiting the growth that you can have in your business. There's nothing more impactful when you can have $50,000 or $40,000 hit your bank account at one time with a sale, or $100,000 hit your bank account. Because when you work out funding with these companies, they'll pay you in full and then your clients pay them back. Now, I just want to say you need to be able to deliver, right? If you are not sure that you can deliver on what you say you can deliver on, or you're just maybe starting and you haven't ever proven what you do or your process, well, it's going to be harder to get people to buy into that because they're just not going to be sure. In fact, you won't have the confidence to be able to get paid in full. But when you know what you're doing, when you're confident in what you do, when you have what it is your clients need and you know how to deliver, getting paid in full is a much faster path to growth. So it's a game changer. Are you doing these things in your business? And then you want to build your team. You don't want to be doing everything yourself. This is how you move into those higher levels. So listen, I have an upcoming workshop called Step into the Expert Spotlight and Sell: How to Get 50K plus months and paydays. And I walk you through a lot of the marketing and processes that I teach my clients to do in their business that can give them incredible results. So if you're interested in getting into that workshop, I want you right now to go apply for that workshop. It's not for people that don't have anything going in their business. It's for people that are really ready to scale. They're good at what they do. They want to scale. Then you need to come to that workshop where we're going to work on these high-end offers. We're going to work on high-end marketing, high-impact marketing, and we're going to even go into the strategies on making these types of sales. So go to expertinyou.marketing.com, apply to attend. You'll book a quick 20-minute call with us. We'll get on a call, meet, go over some details about the workshop, make sure it's going to be a good use of your time, a good fit. And then from there, you'll get an invitation into the room if it's a fit for you. And it's not a sales call, but we do keep the room at a really high level. I teach the things that I teach my clients. In fact, I may even have some of my high-paying clients in the room. And it's a really high value, free 2-day virtual event. So go get into that workshop now. And I can't wait to see you on the inside. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.